Hello and welcome to you know it is right when there are those slide video. I need to say that every time I start. I'm gonna do they're meant to be short video that are more shareable. So I'm gonna go through the presentation first, and if there's comment in the chat because I'm doing those live, I'll address them at the end. So welcome for people watching live and for people watching on the replay. So today I want to talk about the power of anchoring, right? And this is something that the concept of anchoring, I guess I heard first from it from Crispy. He might have took it from somewhere else, table owner Crispy. And it's something that, to be fair, that I could get better at. Right, from the people we play with, I'm probably the worst at it, but I see the potential of it, and I'm making this presentation, and I'm going to try to drill myself to get better at it. So, what is anchoring? Anchoring is like physical interaction with the environment to ground your character in the scene. Right, they're like small descriptive action, almost throwaway action, oftentimes non-meaningful action, like if you lean against the door frame or you're sitting down, you swirl your drink in your glass before taking a sip, you interact with yourself, you can like fix your clothes, right, play in your hair, little action that keep your character acting, keep your character like being an actor in the world, right, instead of just speaking. Like it keep because people don't do that. People like don't just stand like T-posing while they do nothing, right? They don't like, you're always doing something. Like you move your hand, you're play with you fill with stuff, you pick at yourself. People do stuff, and when you integrate that in your description, in your turn of what do you do, where you are, what do you do, what do you say, right? Sometimes the what do you do is just like an anchoring action, a little thing that it's not impacting the scene really, but it impact the verisimilitude of the scene because it make you feel like your character is a living human being. The benefit of anchoring is avoiding the floating in syndrome, which I guess like can be ironic from me. Like anyway, avoiding the floating in syndromes keeps it. You can it can allows you to keep it can allow you to keep everyone involved, and it can facilitate time skip and fast travel while respecting player agency. And I'm gonna cover all those one at a time, but this is kind of like the menu of what's coming next. So avoiding the floating in syndrome, what we mean by that's like I said, like dialogue without action feel disembodied, right? If you're just like a talking head, right? You're just like you just always when you do your turn, you're always saying what your character says, right? And nothing else. Your character is not acting. That's when you feel like either your character is just like floating head or just a mouth or just like a disembodied voice, right? Speaking and spewing line of dialogue, or your character is just like T-posing while he's saying dialogue, right? Even like you see that in bad video games sometimes when they have like those cutscene for expo dump, right? And where characters are just like standing talking like that, doing nothing, and they each exchange that line of dialogue, and those feel like crap, right? But people do that in the role playing as well, and I think it's a very good habit to just like break from that a bit and just like just add little thing that you do right when while you're speaking. Interacting with the world, remind everyone where you are, right? So if you're incurring action or thing like oh, I sink down a bit in the couch, or I lean down against the door frame, or I turn toward the window looking outside, and then you say what you're saying, right? Little thing like that. Well, now we remember like you're in the couch, you're by the door frame, you're by the window, right? Those kind of thing. So add this flavor and remind us where you are, but it's also make the world more lived in, and it make the character feel part of the world. Because even also sometimes it's just gonna be like, oh, I'm just like fidgeting with a ashtray on the table. Well, now we have there's an ashtray on the table, so and those kind of thing you can expect in some setting, I guess. But it make it so like that it can easily like help populate the world with things that make sense, and it make the world feel like human being live there, or whatever you have, right? And oftentimes, like in Korean, like I said, like those are little like kind of like non-meaningful action. Uh, like I wouldn't say like if you kick the door open, that's not anchoring. That's you doing a meaningful action. Anchoring is those little thing that you do, those little detail that you add, or that are mostly there to, well, those things, right? Make you feel like you exist in the world. I said like, oh, keeping everyone involved. I guess my slide, I'm hiding the slide a bit. That's a C, it's not a D, but it's my picture is hiding it a bit. Keeping everyone involved. When you have anchoring action, it allows you to remain in turn order, right? More or less. We have like those rules that we do that if like there's two characters having dialogue with each other, we allow like to do like a few back and forth before going back around the table to get everybody involved. And the anchoring action oftentimes, like if you take your turn come, and you just do an anchoring action, it's an indication that I still exist in that scene. I'm still here, and I'm okay with you keeping on going what you're doing, right? I don't have anything to contribute right now. I'm still existing, and you can keep on going. So, for example, right? Let's say like I'm playing with Phil, and Crispy's a GM, and Phil is having a conversation with a character. I'm in the same room. I'm there. I'm the same scene, right? But my character doesn't have anything to contribute now. I can just, that's gonna be the kind of time that I'm gonna be well, I'm just like picking up some lint from the couch and rolling them with my finger, right? And that's my turn. It make me still exist in the world, and then Phil gets it right. I got my turn, and Phil got it that okay, I can then. And Crispy, they both got it because we have this understanding of what anchoring is and the purpose it serves, and then they can keep on the dialogue going for maybe another two back and forth, and then it's gonna come back to me, and then I can do another anchoring action, or because that's the thing, since it allows you to keep this turn order, then if I want to interrupt, if I want to do something, I can wait for my turn, because now like turn can be kept short, because I can just like almost do a skip, right, and say like no, keep on going, right, with those little throwaway action. But now when my turn come back, if I want to do something, actually, if I want like to move the scene forward for some reason in a meaningful way, I can decide, well, now I slap my hand on the table, I stand up, I say, all right, let's get going. And then like now like I didn't have to cut in while they were talking, because they can keep their talk, they could keep their back and forth fairly short, because they know they're gonna have another one coming up, right? Turn can be cut short since they come back quickly. I say they come back quick, but it's quickly, and you don't need to interrupt other. I hope this makes sense. Facilitating time skip and fast travel. That's something we've talked about recently in a live stream, right? Because that's something we often like struggle with. If we want to have like sometime like you want to move from a different scene, different, like either in time or in location, right? You want to fast travel somewhere, or you want to advance the time, and you don't want it shouldn't just be arbitrary by the GM just saying, oh, okay, the next morning then, because then like sometimes if like maybe you want to do something else during the night, or maybe before the night or stuff like that, maybe you weren't done with that scene quite yet, right? Or like, oh, now you arrive at the castle, right? Now you just teleported my character there. So we needed to have a way to we needed to have a way for that everybody could signify that they were done with the scene, right? And anchoring came in very handy for that, because let's say we're about to travel somewhere, and so that's going to be like location change and time change, because travel takes time. But we're about to travel somewhere, and we talk among ourselves, and then we're doing our stuff, and at some point like we're done with the current scene, like we discuss what we need to discuss, and it would be time to just get on our way, right? So we go again around the table, giving everybody a turn, and once everybody made a turn, that is simply an anchoring action, so a little meaningless or non-meaningful, I should say, because it's not meaningless, it's non-meaningful action. Those can be like, well, I step on the cart and grab the rein, and that's all you do, right? Now, and somebody else say like, I'm sitting in the passenger seat and like brush the mud out of my boots before putting my feet in, right? Little action like that, right? You're not building up anything else on the scene, but you're still existing in the scene, and you're still being a living human being in that scene. But once everybody in the round got such a turn, it's a good indication that we're done here. We can move forward to the next location or to the next time, right? So it allows the GM to do the time skip without rushing it, right? You got it's basically like the player giving an in character okay that we're done here. Uh, you can move to the next location, and once you get this understanding as well, and if a player in that round, right, still planned on doing something, that's his chance to indicate it as well, right? We had this case at some point, like before we came up with those solution, right? When I was trying to do like a time skip for the night to the morning, and one of the player wanted to do something during the night, right? It could have been a way. There could have been a way to indicate like when everybody just like describe their going to bed routine a bit, right? So I understand that's a meaningless action. Then comes somebody else's turn. You can describe the going to bed action routine because that's what you want people to believe he's doing, but then add a little something more that say, I'm not done, right? You know, oh no, I slip into bed, I bring the cover up to my nose, but I make sure to stay awake. Then as a GM, I need to understand that, right? I understand that, oh, okay, I'll come back to you before doing a time skip. So those kind of thing you can do. And once you have this understanding, you can also like throw in uh you can cut the time skip or the location change in half or whatever frequency you want to also give a chance to for the player if they want to do something on the way, right? So let's say they want to they want to move across a forest, they're on the cart, right? And now everybody give like a little anchoring action or where they are on the cart, what they do, what they're gonna set up to do during the travel or whatever. So now we can move along the way. And as a GM, you can make another round during the travel on the road, right? You know, it's like those transition scene in movie, right? No, they're gonna travel somewhere. You're gonna have a little scene where you see them like uh on their way, so we understand they're traveling there, and then they're gonna be next scene they're gonna be in destination. So you can do those, right? And if you're traveling through a forest, and then like at some point now you say like, well, you can describe the road a bit, or the condition of the road, the time shifting, the temperature, those kind of things that you describe as a GM. Then you go around the table, and if everybody just like, yeah, I don't have anything to do during travel, so they can again just everyone can just like make a little anchoring action. So what are you doing during travel, right? Just like little like like little action that we just do to keep ourselves busy, right? So if everybody does that, then you can move again to the next scene, and that's fine. But it give a chance to say like somebody want to have a dialogue during the travel, then you can have now it's his chance to interject it here. Or if you want to do something else and go off in the woods, right, and look for mushrooms, stuff like then it's a chance to do it here, and then like you can have complication coming from that, right? But having those anchoring turn, right, or anchoring like turn skip as anchoring, and if everybody skip, then we move to the next scene. Allows you to have those little transition scene if you want, right? That can lead to nothing, but if it leads to nothing, it's not a big deal because you're still a flavor coming in because now you have a picture of what people do during the travel, and then you have But it also like if you and because also like it's just anchoring action, they go fairly quick if nothing happened, but something could happen, and you give like the player the chance for it. So I think that's what I had to say about anchoring, and I hope that was clear enough, somewhat clear. I think it's a very powerful tool for many reasons, right? Like I said, like keeping people engaged, allow you to remain in turn order, keeping turn quick, living in the world, having those transition scene. And it's something like I said in the start that I need to get better at. Sometimes I do skip it a bit, which we're all trying to push ourselves here. So thank you for people that join live, which I'm gonna go to the live chat soon, and people that watch on the replay. And if you thought this video was useful, or if you have other idea about it, leave in the comment down below, leave a like, subscribe, and share those videos. They're made to be shorter form. I aim usually for about 15 minutes, which I'm about there now. So they can be more shareable, even though the video might be a little longer, but the rest is going to be me addressing question that I got live there. So, and saying hi to Phil and Big Bad that come and join us, and Elf Hunter, and Mad Eyes Miniature, which I don't think I know this name. Elf Hunter said I enjoyed Mr. Max and Big's Bad character last session, which was Monday, and a side story in the Horizon universe. Written Lies, nice seeing you. Say, I told Crispy about anchoring. Well, I'm glad you did, because it's a very good tool. Anchoring lends a lot towards expressing emotion and body language. That's also very true. You can tell, even like if they're not super meaningful action, you can tell a lot by through them, right? I'm just gonna go there. Such an elegant solution for time skip travel. Yes, and that's something we struggle with. And at some point when we figure that out, it's just like, yeah, that makes sense. That's how it needs to be handled now. GM Marcus said this is a very valuable serial video. Well, I'm glad they are. That's what I'm trying there. Oh, you got the idea of anchoring. Oh, there you go. Well, you're a smart guy. I think what you guys consider anchoring is your own version. That's not really what we think it is. Oh, maybe. But if you didn't make a video about it, that's the one that's gonna go down. Let me know if you if you have other view that. But the things you are talking about are important. Well, I try to. Well, I'll be clear to know your version of it. So I think I'm gonna wrap that up now. Like I said, I try to keep those videos fairly short so they can be shareable. And again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. This week on Friday, I'm gonna be on the Legend of Myth channel again, discussing greedy versus heroic type of play. And then on Saturday, we're gonna have like the Lich's Dredge channel. So like this with Yakrep and Zonalar and Nicolas Carmago, this kind of monster race campaign. So we'll see where we go from that. Which we're in a bad spot right now, but we'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good time. Take care.